Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be learning how to cut this stylish halter neck gown. So if it's something you would love to learn, do well to watch to the end of the video, like, share and subscribe. So let's get right to it. The first thing is to take our vertical measurement. From the top here is our shoulder line and our starting point. So I'm going to come down to take my vertical measurement. From the top I'm going to come down to mark my bust point, which is 9.5 inches. I'll mark that all the way and extend the line across. From the shoulder line again, I'm going to come down to mark my under bust. From my shoulder to my under bust is 12 inches. I'm going to mark that all the way and extend the point across as well. Then from the top again, I'm going to come down to mark my waist point. From my shoulder to my waist point is 15 inches. I'm going to mark that and extend the point across as well. Then from the waistline, I'm going to come down to mark my hip point. From my waist to my hip point is 9 inches. So you can mark 8 for a short person or an average person, and I will extend that point across. Then I'm going to come down to mark the length of my gown. I'll be marking 30 inches. It depends on what you want. It can be longer or shorter than this. Then I will extend the point across as well. So I will label my lines appropriately. This is my full length, this is my hip line, this is my waistline, this is my under bust line, and this is my bust line. So I'm going to come to the shoulder line here, divide my shoulder by 2. My shoulder divided by 2 is 7.5. At that point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch from my shoulder slope. I'll come here to mark my basic neck of 3 inches. I'll connect from the shoulder slope all the way to that 3 inches this way. I'll come down to mark my neck depth of 3 inches, and I will connect from the neck width all the way to the neck depth with my curve rule this way. The next thing is to mark my chest line, and to get your chest line, you're going to divide your bust by 6, then add 1.5 inches to the measurement. I got 7. I'm going to mark that 7 here, and I'll go ahead and extend the point across. So this line now is my chest line. On my chest line, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement here, the 7.5 inches. I'm going to mark it right here to have a straight line. I'll connect from the shoulder slope all the way to the point we just marked on the chest line. So I'll come to this line, divide it into 2 equal halves to get the midpoint. At the midpoint, I'll come in by ½ an inch. I'll come to the chest line, divide my bust circumference by 4. Then I'll connect all the way to the shoulder slope to form my armhole this way. The next thing is to mark our dart, and to mark your dart, you are going to divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2. My nipple to nipple measurement is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. I'll mark it on the chest line, on the bust line, on the waist line, on the hip line, and all the way to the full length. And I'll go ahead and connect all these points together with a straight line. So this is our center front, and this side is our side front. So on the center front, I'm going to come to the under bust here. I'm going to mark ½ inch on the center front, and on the side front I'll mark 1 inch. But if you're a plus size person, you can mark 1 inch on the center front, then on the side front you can mark 1.5 inches. I'll mark ½ inch on the center front, 1 inch on the side front, all the way to the full length. I'll go ahead and connect all these points together with a straight line. So from the bust line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Then I'll use my curve rule to connect from the under bust all the way to that 1 inch this way. I'll do the same thing on this other side. I'll connect from the under bust to that 1 inch like this. The next thing is to impute our ram body measurement. We've already marked our bust measurement here. I'm going to add my seam allowance of 1 inch. I'll come to the under bust, divide my under bust by 4. I'm going to mark it right here. Then the 1.5 inches for that, I'll replace it, then add my seam allowance. I'll come to the waistline, divide my waist by 4. The 1.5 inches for that, I'll replace it, then add my seam allowance as well. I'll come to the hip line, divide my hip by 4. I'm going to mark it right here. The 1.5 inches, I will replace it, and then I'm going to add extra 1 inch for ease on the hip line, but if you don't need it, you can leave it. Then I'll add my seam allowance. So whatever I have here on the hip line, I'm going to bring it down to the full length, and I'll go ahead and connect all these points together. So the next thing we're going to do right now is to work on the shoulder, and it's a halter neck gown, so we're going to be reducing the shoulder measurement. So I'll come in from the neck depth by 1.5 inches. It depends on how wide you want your shoulder to be. You can do 2 inch or 1 inch. Then I'll connect it into the armhole like this, and I'm going to connect my dart leg, this one, all the way to the neck width, because the dart goes all the way to the neckline. So I'll just connect this all the way to the neck with this way, and this is it. The next thing we're going to do right now is to extend the shoulder so that it can go all the way to the back, as you can see on the thumbnail. So I'm going to add another paper to it, and then we'll extend the shoulder line. So I'm going to measure around my neck here. I got about 5 inches, so I'm going to extend the shoulder line by that 5 inches, and I will extend that shoulder line all the way to that point. So I'm going to measure what I have here, the 1.5 inches here. I'm going to mark it all the way to that 5 inches, and I'll connect the lines, or the dotted, I'll connect the points into a straight line, and like so. And this is basically it for the drafting of this pattern. It's a very simple tutorial. The next thing we're going to do right now is to go ahead and cut it out. So the part I'm cancelling is the area we don't need. We're going to be cutting this off, so please pay attention to where we are cutting from so you don't make a mistake when cutting your pattern paper. So this is what we have. So for the center front, we are going to be cutting it on fold. This is the center front, we're going to cut it on fold. And then the side front, we are going to cut it times 2. We're going to use this pattern to cut both the back and the front, so wait for it, because it's a backless halter neck dress. So if you look at that thumbnail closely, it has a joining, it has half length, a joining from the waist. So we are going to be cutting from the waist like this, and then we're going to rejoin it when we are sewing. But if you don't want it to have a joining from the waist, you can just use it and cut like that. So this is the upper part, and then this is the lower part. So remember, for the back pattern, the upper part is backless, so we are only going to be cutting the skirt, the lower part, for the back pattern. So we are going to use this pattern to cut for the back. So when cutting this, you're going to add your zipper allowance for the back pattern, for the lower part. All right, if you don't want your dart to run all the way to the lower part, you can just use your tape to just tape it down so that you can cut it as one piece, just the way I did here. And this is basically it for this tutorial. If you have any question, please do well to drop it in the comment section, and I'll do well to attend to it. Thank you so much for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.